Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Rare Coins Treasures. Imagine this. You walk into a dusty attic, open an old jar of pennies, and there, sitting quietly among hundreds of ordinary coins, is one small copper treasure that could shatter your financial reality. Not a gold bar, not a diamond, but a 1968 Lincoln 1-cent penny, worth as much as $643,000. Sounds impossible? Well, today, I'm going to prove it's not only possible, but you might already own this fortune without even realizing it. And if you're thinking, oh please, it's just a penny. Well, so was Bitcoin once. Remember how that turned out? Let's rewind the clock to 1968 and uncover the story behind this tiny copper king. In 1968, America was in flux. Vietnam War headlines, Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy shaping the nation, and a country split between turmoil and hope. The San Francisco Mint was quietly producing Lincoln pennies copper coins that seemed ordinary at first glance, but hidden among millions were a handful of anomalies, mistakes, variations, and perfect condition strikes destined to become treasures. These weren't minted for fame. They were minted to circulate, to buy a stick of gum, a morning newspaper, maybe even a cup of coffee. And yet, fate had other plans for a few of them. What makes the 1968 so special? Why is it fetching prices higher than most people's annual salaries, sometimes even more than a house? Think about it. If your penny jar is actually a mini real estate portfolio in disguise, would you still keep it next to the fridge? In a moment, I'll reveal the exact traits that could turn your 1968 penny from pocket change into a life-changing fortune. And one tiny detail most collectors completely overlook. There are millions of 1968 pennies, but only a rare fraction are worth big money. The secret, condition, and rarity. A pristine, uncirculated 1968 graded at the highest mint state by PCGS or NGC, can sell for over $643,000. Even lesser grades in superb condition can fetch hundreds or thousands. Doubled die-obverse Lincoln's profile, lettering, or date appears doubled. Off-center strikes. The coin's design shifted away from center. Full red copper luster, a bright, untouched shine from the day it was minted. Proof strikes. From San Francisco Mint, sharp, mirror-like surfaces intended for collectors, not circulation. By the way, if you're holding your coin under a dim desk lamp from 1997, squinting like Sherlock Holmes, just stop. You need good lighting or your pet cat might end up being the only millionaire in the house. In 2023, a near-perfect 1968 sold for $643,000 at auction. And that's not the only one. Collectors are competing fiercely, driving prices to record-breaking heights. But here's the catch: time is not your friend. Every day your coin sits unprotected. It's exposed to oxidation, scratches, and damage that can destroy its value forever. So, how do you know if you're holding one of the big winners? That's where Act 3 will not just answer your question but show you how to cash in before it's too late. First, don't clean the coin. This is rule number 1. Next, inspect it. Carefully look for that S-mint mark beneath the date. Check for any doubling or proof-like shine. Then send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and value assessment. Once certified, you can list it through reputable auction houses, rare coin dealers, or even major online auction platforms. And if your coin hits that top-tier grade, you might just witness a bidding war that changes your life overnight. Imagine paying off your home, traveling where you want, when you want, funding your children's future, all because of one penny you didn't overlook. This isn't just about a coin, it's about unlocking a lifestyle most people only dream about. And hey, when your friends ask how you made your millions, you can just smile and say, it was just pennies from heaven. But here's the real twist. The 1968 isn't the only sleeper coin out there. In my next video, I'll reveal another everyday coin still in circulation that's turning ordinary Americans into most people don't even know it exists. So check your jars, your drawers, your pockets, because that life-changing coin could already be in your hands. And if you want to know what to look for next, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The next treasure hunt starts now. 1 cent, a coin so small, most people wouldn't bend down to pick it up off the sidewalk. But what if I told you that a single 1976D Lincoln penny could pay off your mortgage, buy you a luxury car, and still leave enough for a dream vacation around the world? And here's the shocking part. It's still hiding in plain sight, mixed in with billions of ordinary pennies. That's right, this isn't monopoly money. We're talking about real cash, up to $476,000 for a single coin. So before you dump that jar of pennies into a Coinstar machine, you might want to watch this video until the very end, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to reveal the secret traits that make this coin worth a fortune, that could cost you hundreds of thousands, and the exact steps to sell one without getting ripped off. Miss even one detail, and you could accidentally give away your shot at life-changing money. Let's rewind to 1976, the year America celebrated its 200th birthday. The streets were buzzing with patriotic parades, red, white, and blue, everything. And yes, a massive production of coins to mark the occasion. But while most eyes were on the special bicentennial quarters, something unexpected happened at the Denver Mint, and that's where our story begins. The Denver Mint struck millions of Lincoln pennies that year, but buried within them were a handful of coins unlike any others. These weren't ordinary cents, they had microscopic differences. Differences so rare that today, collectors are battling to own one. Think of it like buying a plain donut, only to bite in and discover it's filled with gold. Except in this case, you don't eat it, you guard it like treasure. What makes the 1976D penny valuable? So what exactly makes this penny worth up to $476,000? The answer is in its condition, minting errors, and historical context. Some 1976D pennies were struck with double-die obverse letters and numbers that appear double-dot off-center strikes, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted. Mint state coins that look as if they just left the press. And here's the kicker. Even a tiny imperfection or a slightly brighter luster can skyrocket its value. If you think your penny doesn't matter, think again, because hundreds of people have unknowingly spent fortunes at grocery store checkouts. You don't need to be a coin dealer with a lab coat to spot a winner. All you need is a magnifying glass, good lighting, and patience. The date? Make sure it reads 1976, with a small d under it. Look for doubling in Liberty or the date. Scan the edges. Errors often hide there. And if your eyesight isn't perfect, borrow your kid's science kit. Microscope. Trust me, this is one school project you'll actually enjoy. Here's where I have to warn you. Every year, countless rare pennies are melted down or tossed into bank deposits, their owners completely unaware. That could be the difference between a retirement in luxury and just another day at the office. But before you rush to sell, there's one critical mistake that could cost you half your coin's value. And it happens more often than you'd think. When you find a potential jackpot coin, the biggest danger is underselling. Pawn shops and casual buyers might offer you a few $100s for a coin worth hundreds of thousands. Here's the playbook to avoid that trap. Get it professionally graded. PCGS or NGC certification is your proof of authenticity and quality. Compare recent auction sales. Check platforms like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. Avoid rushing. Scarcity drives price. A well-timed sale during high demand can double your payout. Think about it. A single penny could open doors you never dreamed possible, from paying off debt to buying your forever home. But only if you act now. Every day, more rare coins disappear into circulation forever. Will you let yours slip away? Somewhere in your pocket change, in that old coffee can, or in the back of your junk drawer. Could be the 1976D penny that changes your life. The question is, will you find it before someone else does? Check your coins. Share this with friends and family, because you never know who's sitting on a fortune without realizing it. And if you think this penny is valuable, wait until you see the next coin on our list. It makes $476,000 look like pocket change. Somewhere in your home, in a jar, a drawer, maybe even under your couch, could be a single penny that could change your life forever. A 1986 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark that collectors are paying up to $355,000 for right now. Sounds impossible. Well, it's not. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this ordinary-looking coin could be your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle. But here's the catch: you might be spending it without even knowing it. By the Wait, if you're about to run to your coin jar right now, stop. I promise, after this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. And if you still go digging mid-video, well, don't blame me when you trip over your cat. Every year, thousands of rare coins vanish into circulation forever, because people simply don't know what they're holding. That 1986 penny you hand to a cashier for a pack of gum, that could have been your retirement fund. The 1986 no mint mark penny is one of those once-in-a-lifetime finds. It's not just its age, it's the story behind it. Minting errors, low surviving numbers, and an unexpected demand from collectors have turned this coin from a humble cent into a six-figure fortune. But why this year? Why this coin? And what exactly makes it worth hundreds of thousands, while the other pennies in your pocket are worth, well, 1 cent? In 1986, the U.S. Mint was fully into the copper-plated zinc era for pennies. But here's the twist. Certain batches left the Philadelphia Mint without its signature P-Mint mark, whether it was a die oversight, a maintenance error, or a simple lapse. This tiny omission created one of the rarest modern pennies in U.S. history. To the untrained eye, it looks normal. To a collector, it's a golden ticket. The magic is in the combination: rarity, historical anomaly, and condition. Top-graded. Uncirculated 1986 no-mint mark pennies have sold in private auctions for over $300,000. The most recent market valuation, a staggering $355,000. Imagine a penny you might have dropped in a vending machine could have bought you a luxury home, or a year-long trip around the world. And yes, before you ask, no, it's not because it's secretly made of gold. If that were the case, I'd be melting mine into a necklace and wearing it on vacation. First, check the date, 1986.2. Look closely under the date. If there's no tiny letter, no P, no D, no S, you might have struck gold. Metaphorically, .3. Examine condition mint state coins with sharp edges and no scratches are where the huge money is. Use a magnifying glass and good lighting. Don't clean the coin. It can destroy its value instantly. But here's the real kicker. Even circulated 1986 no mint mark pennies can fetch thousands. The trick is knowing where and how to sell it, and that's where people make the biggest mistake. Too many people rush to pawn shops or sell to the first bidder online. That's how fortunes get lost. The right auction, the right buyer, the right timing. These are the keys to turning your penny into life-changing money. Collectors are waiting for coins like yours, but miss your chance, and the opportunity disappears, maybe forever. Picture this. You sell your 1986 no mint mark penny for $355,000. Your debt's gone, your retirement funded, your dream home paid for in cash, and all because you took a few minutes to check that coin you almost gave away for a cup of coffee. Although, if you do find one, maybe send your coffee shop a thank you card. Or better yet, buy them a new espresso machine. So tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to do one thing. Grab every penny you own and check for 1986 with no mint mark. That coin could be your passport to the wealthy lifestyle you've dreamed about. Because one thing's for sure: rare. Treasures don't wait forever, and neither should you. Your fortune could be hiding in plain sight. Will you find it before someone else spends it? What if I told you the penny you dropped at the gas station last week could have paid off your house, bought you a luxury car, and still left you with enough money to live like royalty? Today, we're talking about a 1989 no mint mark Lincoln cent coin that, in the right condition, is worth $521,000. Yes, a single cent turning into more than $500,000. You might already own one, and you could be seconds away from spending it without even knowing it. And before you say, "Nah, I checked my change jar last year," let me ask, did you check it with a jeweler's loupe under perfect lighting? Or did you just swirl the pennies around and say, "Hey, looks fine"? Because if it's the second one, we need to talk. The year was 1989. George H.W. Bush was president. The Berlin Wall was still standing. And in Philadelphia, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Lincoln cents. But among those millions, a handful, so few they could fit in your glove box, had subtle errors, variations, and preservation conditions so rare. They became treasures. These are not your everyday dirty pennies from the bottom of your couch cushions. These are museum-worthy, high-grade, nearly perfect coins with no mint mark that collectors would fight tooth and nail to own. But here's where it gets dangerous. Every year, countless people unknowingly spend coins like this at grocery stores, gas stations, or vending machines. They vanish into circulation, lost forever. And so does the life-changing fortune they carried. So what exactly makes a plain-looking 1989 penny so valuable? Well, the truth lies in three little details that most people never notice. And we'll get to the first one in just a second. Let's start with condition. In the coin world, perfection is everything. A 1989 penny-graded MS-68, read by PCGS or NGC, is virtually flawless. No scratches, no spots, and a bright copper-red luster that looks like it was struck yesterday. The higher the grade. Think about it. If collectors were dating coins, the MS-68 red would be the prom queen. The rest? Well, they'd still be nice, but they wouldn't stop traffic. Now, here's the twist. Some 1989 pennies have minor doubling on the date, or the word Liberty. Others have planchette flaws or striking errors so subtle you'd miss them without magnification. These microscopic quirks, they send collectors into bidding wars. And that's how a 1-cent coin crosses into six-figure territory. 2018, one such penny shocked the auction world, selling for a staggering $521,000. The bidding was intense, the room electric, because everyone knew they were looking at a piece of numismatic history. But here's the part you can't afford to miss. Even if you find one, the way you handle it could mean the difference between $500,000 and 5 cents. At a pawn shop, if you suspect you have a 1989 no mint mark penny, do this. Handle it by the edges, no fingerprints, no scratches. Use a 10x magnifying loupe to inspect the date, Liberty, and the mint area. Look for sharp, crisp details and original luster, no dull spots. Send it for grading to a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Never try to clean it yourself. And remember, one tiny mistake, like rubbing it with a cloth, can destroy hundreds of thousands of dollars in value instantly. Coins like this don't just sit around waiting to be found. Every day, they're disappearing back into circulation, or worse, being damaged beyond recovery. Every minute you delay checking your change is another minute someone else might claim your fortune. This isn't just about a coin. It's about what it represents. The possibility that unimaginable wealth could be hiding in plain sight. A simple penny in your hand could be your ticket to financial freedom. You hear the clink of change in your pocket. Don't ignore it. Right now, somewhere in America, someone is carrying a penny in their pocket that could change their life forever. And here's the twist: it might be you. This isn't just any coin. This is the 1991D. Lincoln 1-cent penny, coin so rare. In pristine condition, it has fetched a jaw-dropping $732,000 in private sales. So, do you think it's impossible for a penny to make you rich? Well, stick around, because what I'm about to reveal could turn that loose change in your kitchen drawer into the down payment on your dream mansion. And if you are about to check your pockets right now, don't. You'll miss the best part. Trust me. In 1991, the Denver Mint struck over 4.2 billion Lincoln cents. Most were ordinary copper-plated zinc coins worth exactly 1 cent. But among those billions, a few slipped through the cracks. Born with extraordinary flaws or perfect flawless strikes. These are the coins that collectors would fight over. Coins that transform from everyday change into financial freedom. Here's the dangerous truth. Most people have already spent these pennies without knowing their worth. They were given as change for coffee, left in tip jars, or dropped between couch cushions. Every time that happens, someone's million-dollar opportunity vanishes forever. But how no pressure? Just your financial future on the line here. In just a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify if your 1991D penny is one of these treasures, and the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth $732,000 might be so small you'd miss it without knowing what to look for. First, let's talk about why some of these coins are worth millions. It comes down to 3 factors: rarity, condition, and demand. Out of billions minted, only a handful survive in perfect mint state, 68 or higher. Why? Because pennies were never meant to be saved. They were meant to be spent. Finding one untouched by circulation is like finding a snowflake in the desert. And let's be honest, how many of us kept our 1991 pennies locked in a vault instead of, buying gum? Collectors pay a premium for coins that still look like they left the mint yesterday. No scratches, no discoloration, no fingerprints. A flawless surface under magnification is the hallmark of a fortune maker. And here's the kicker. You might already have one and think it looks pretty good, but pretty good won't buy you a yacht. Flawless will. In the world of coin collecting, the Lincoln Cent series is a giant dot. It's one of the most collected coins in the United States, meaning demand is always there. Add a rare date mint combo in pristine condition, and you've got a bidding war. Think of it like high school crushes. Everyone wants the rare, perfect one, except here, it's a penny, and it actually calls you back. Mint mark D, under the date, crisp and well-defined, no visible wear on Lincoln's cheek, jaw, or hair. Bright, original luster with no spotting dot under magnification. The fields should be mirror-like and clean. And if you spot an unusual error like a double die, off-center strike, or a missing design detail, stop everything, because that might just be your ticket to generational wealth. Now, you might be wondering, if I find one, where do I even sell it? That's where things get interesting, and where most people make a costly mistake that can cut their payout in half. Top grade 1991D, pennies have sold for hundreds of thousands in major auctions like Heritage and Stacksbowers. Private collectors sometimes pay even more because they don't want competition driving up the price. But here's the secret. Don't rush to sell. Get it professionally graded by PCG's or NGCA's certified grade is your golden ticket. Without it, you're just guessing, and buyers will lowball you. Think about this one small coin minted over 3 decades ago, forgotten in a jar or drawer. Could erase your debts, buy you a dream home, or fund your retirement. It's not just a penny. It's a reminder that opportunity hides in plain sight. And hey, if you find one, maybe don't brag to your neighbor right away, unless you want them digging through your coin jar while you sleep. The question is, will you find yours before it's too late? Because every day, another rare penny disappears into circulation forever. Check your coins. Look closely. Your 1991D Lincoln Cent could be worth more than your car, your house, even your retirement plan. And if you think this is the only coin that could make you rich, wait until you hear about the penny that sold for over $1, 7 million. That story is coming next.